Jade, so what would you say is the best pre-construction right now in February?
Well, there is a lot of pre-construction coming to Miami, but one of my favorites, or new favorites rather, is a project that's going up in Midtown, which is actually called the Standard Residences. And I know, or do you know of the Standard Hotel in Miami Beach at all, or the brand?
You know, I've heard of it. So like for those people listening, where would you say is Midtown in Miami?
So Midtown is Edgewater, but just about a street and a half in. So you're right by the edge of the water on Biscayne. So on the bay side, not the ocean side, but the bay side. And then just about 2 blocks in, right by Wynwood in the design district, right in between there.
And how far would you say you're like from the airport or South Beach?
You are 12 minutes to the airport and about 12, 13 minutes to the beach.
It's pretty exact. That's pretty good.
Well, I live next to it, so I know exactly how long it takes. That's without traffic. But there's never really that much going to the airport. Like maximum it's ever taken me would be like 25 minutes, like absolute worst case scenario, because it's just not such a long distance.
So it sounds like a great location.
Yeah, it's really in the middle of everything. It's considered Miami's most walkable neighborhood, actually. I just found that out today. And it was modeled after Soho in New York, which I just found out today as well, which makes sense because when you're there, it feels just like Soho, but a warmer, prettier, sexier version.
Because you're from New York, you would know, right?
Yeah, exactly. So very similar. A lot of people, when they say, when they're coming down to Miami, oh, I'm relocating, buying second place, I want to be in a place that's walkable, and I don't want to be in the traffic in Brickell. I hear that a lot because the traffic in Brickell has gotten really bad. Nothing against Brickell. I still like Brickell, but getting in and out is horrible. It's better to just stay there. I say Midtown all day.
And speaking about like staying there, you asked me the question about the Standard Hotel. And yeah, I've been there a couple times, but I'm not an expert. My wife always tells me I'm not good with details. If you were to ask me now what color my bedroom is or different parts of the house, I wouldn't know. So detail is very bad. So yeah. For those that don't know the Standard, can you share a little bit about it?
So the Standard is, how do I explain the Standard? The best way to know what the Standard is to go to it, obviously, but it's—
What hotel would be like similar to it?
Well, I don't think it's super unique. So something maybe boutique with a really strong brand, that's young and hip and edgy, creative.
So since it's high end and it's edgy, it sounds like it would be like the opposite of like the Mandarin Oriental or something like that.
Opposite, polar opposite.
Okay.
Like if Palm Beach is the Mandarin Oriental, Miami is the Standard.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, so that would be like a younger person or someone like maybe in tech or something like that, a crypto person you would see there.
Someone who's into the NFT game or who's an artist. It's really kind of like an artsy, edgy, you'd have like supermodels, but it laid back. It's not very flashy, but it's very chic.
Okay, and so now I'm excited about it. And for those of you listening, I don't know anything about the Standard. Jade is like our expert with off-market properties, knows what's coming on. I think sometimes before the developers, actually. No,
I try to know before everyone else, before it becomes common knowledge, it's really amazing at the beginning of when a project is being built, the secrecy until the developers want people to know. So it's really difficult. There's a plot of land next to where I live in Edgewater, and they're keeping it so tight on what they're putting there, and everyone wants to know. And like the more research I do, the more confused I get, because they just haven't like really officially released anything. But I try to get as much knowledge as I can, because when you're buying something, especially waterfront, you want to know what's coming to the neighborhood, and you want to know if anything's ever going to block your view. Like for instance, there's this one building, Crimson in Edgewater, and I'm sorry for anyone that bought at Crimson. They clearly didn't use our team, because we would have investigated. Well, the land in front was owned by the Catholic Church, and a developer bought it from the Catholic Church. And I mean, sorry, not Crimson, excuse me, Bay House, right next to the Crimson. And when they were selling out that project, I'm sure people said, oh, well, it's owned by the Catholic Church, there's no way, right? And those views are going to get blocked.
You know, and sort of, I guess, on topic, but off topic from what we're talking about, like the new construction and stuff. I'm seeing more and more like religious places selling their land because it's worth so much, and then doing better things for the church or whatever religious, you know, place it is.
Same thing like the church in Brickell, right? Same.
Yeah, totally.
Thought, you know, it's going to be a church forever, but nothing, unless you're on the water, like right next to it, your view is not protected.
Yeah, totally. So for the listeners or viewers that are, we learned that Jade has this talent. We knew it forever. So we're going to try and share that with everyone. So we're going to be doing more of these shows. And if any of you comment, a lot of people are scared to comment or whatever. We have, I guess it's called lurkers. People just, you know, watch without really engaging, which is okay. But if you want to engage and there is some area that you're interested in or whatever, just comment below or DM Jade. She'll definitely know what to do. So let's go back to the standard, this pre-construction project that I know nothing about. Tell me, like, who would be the buyer? Would it be that same demographic that you said that would go to the hotel, that you would see in the hotel? Who would be the buyers for this?
I think it would be similar, but there's kind of twofold, right? So it could be someone that would actually go to the hotel, or it could be an investor. And the reason why it could be an investor is because this building has a 30-day minimum rental restriction. So you can rent it 12 times a year. And a lot of people say to me, well, I want daily rentals, right? Airbnb, I want a daily rental. And I'm like, okay, but when you, and that's fine. And there are projects for that as well. But actually, because we're managing a couple of the Airbnbs, and we get people that stay for 5-6 weeks. And that was never the intention, right? But there's such a demand because of the rental rates are nuts right now on a long-term rental, and there's just such a lack of inventory that people need places to go. And second, since the work from home has really become a thing, people, they don't want to stay in New York in December or February when it's freezing, and they want to take a month and come down here. So I think since COVID, 1 month rentals have just, you know, exploded. And I think that now people are realizing like the need to travel, like for their own, you know, happiness and things like that, and to be in different places and to experience different cultures. And what better place than Miami? But I think that's also going to help the 1 month rental policy a lot. So I definitely think that there could be an investor who just
I want to butt in for a second. What I've also noticed, because we get multiple calls every week for people that want to do Airbnbs. They see our videos, they read the blog. If you Google like buy Airbnb Miami, our article is the first one that pops up. So we get a lot of calls from this. So one of the things I did find out is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jade, you know more about this than I do, but like when someone is trying to do a daily rental, it's extremely difficult to get financing on that, unless it's like a new construction project where they're a little bit more open. But if you're doing a resale Airbnb daily rental, a lot of times the bank looks at it as a hotel and they won't do a rental. The once a month is fine. Most banks will allow that once a month, and it gives you more flexibility. A lot of our clients that we're getting that are doing these, they figure they can stay in Miami a month or two. and the rest of the year will pay for everything else, and they'll get that appreciation. So just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, 100%. Banks don't like Airbnb. They want to stay away from it as far as they can. So it's a nice way to kind of undercut that, but also get a nice return. And there is demand for it. There's a lot of demand for it. People are always saying, well, who's doing for a month? And I'm like, look at all these people that are texting me. And I'm like, no, I don't have anything for a month. I don't have anything. We're booked. No one's no condo for rent on the market right now is going to take a month. It's not going to happen. So this is.
Yes, totally. So like to like peel the layer off the onion, I guess, in case people are like wondering, like, who are the people that want to rent for a month? We're getting a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure you're getting this too, Jade, like where they're renovating their home and they don't know how long it's going to take. So month to month is good. Also, people that are selling their house and they haven't found a house yet and they need a few months. So just multiple different people that we're getting that are doing this. And like the reason why a lot of banks are hesitant to do the daily rentals is because if you just look at it logically, a daily rental is a business. You have a hotel business. So the bank is basically banking on you to be a good business owner. And I mean, how do you know how good someone is? So that's why they're a little bit hesitant on that.
Yeah, so I mean, I really believe, as you know, we've talked about before, about the 1 month rental. I think just like in the project for 11, same thing. I think there's such a need in also like the executive, market for executive producers and singers and athletes that they want a longer term. For whatever reason, they're either on tour or they're taking a vacation, but not a vacation for, kind of like a break for a season, something like that. And a lot of them want to be in Miami. And so there's a huge need for it. Anyone who says there isn't does not see the messages we get.
Okay, so we found out it's for an investor or this edgy person. Mm-hmm. What would be the price range of the units in the building?
So the building has studio 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, right? Studios, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. They are right now, as of February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2022. Mm-hmm. The studios are in the low 400s, but they're actually quite large because they're not even calling them studios. I think they're calling them pied-à-terres. Mm. And let me pull up my price list that I was just looking at. They're just under 500 square feet. That's pretty big for a studio. And the way they've done it in the renderings, they kind of have this like a wood beam, but not a beam, like a wood separation kind of slats between where the bed is and the rest of the room. So it gives it more of like a separate feel, as opposed to just walking in and being right in the bed. In like the bed area, you know what I mean? When you're in a hotel, it's just like bed. This
right.
So you're going to start low 4s, and then you're going to go up to just under $1 million. Okay.
Do you have a picture of the hotel or any photos that you could share with us?
I do. I have. Yeah. How do I? Let's see. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Share screen. You're going to see all my notifications I'm getting. Can you see it?
No. Did you press share screen yet? Now you did it. Okay. Play, relax, and vibe. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So if you want this, just shoot us an email or a DM on Instagram. Amit will give you our info at the end, and we can send this to you so you have all the info on the project. This is the rooftop pool, which I think is super nice. I think in Miami, we have a lack of rooftop pools, and they're the best for sun. And a lot of times you get a building right next door that blocks all your sun on your ground floor pool. Happens in my building. So it's nice to have this on the rooftop where that you're always going to have sun all day, right? There's nothing to worry about. The building's going to be 12 stories. let's see. This is what the building will look like.
I really like the upside down, the standard.
Yeah.
There was a commercial yesterday on the Super Bowl. I don't know if you heard about it, Jade. It was for Coinbase, the
Yeah.
crypto
Yeah.
wallet.
Their app. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw you actually post about it. So, like, just having this cute, they paid $14 million. I guess it was a minute long or however long, and this QR code just bouncing around the screen. And I like this just different type of marketing, because who's not going to look for an upside down sign on a building, right?
And then I think you can really tell with this. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through here for a sec. This is the rendering of the unit here.
Nice.
You could tell even just by the way they designed their brochure, the strength of the brand. And as you know, there are a lot of branded condo buildings in Miami, and they are, in my eyes, a better investment than something without a brand, because that brand lasts forever. Whereas condo buildings can come and go, but having a huge brand like Standard behind you, I think just gives a little extra something to the building.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's like brand is an expectation of an experience, right? And that's what, for all the people that have been in the Standard wherever, and they go here. Where are the Standard hotels? Are there in other states or in other places in the world? Do you have any idea?
I do, yeah. So, well, there is a Standard hotel in Miami Beach. Definitely worth going to. It's right over the Venetian Causeway, which is a really kind of cool area. And so that's obviously in Miami. You have a couple in New York. You have one in the High Line. And then there is one in, not the Maldives, but something like that.
Okay.
I can figure it out right now, because it's worth
You didn't expect the pop quiz, right?
I didn't know that I was gonna get
I know you're like, people can't tell, but you're a little bit fancy, so you know all these things.
oh, people can't tell you because I'm wearing my champion jacket. Okay, let me see. They actually, the Standard here in Miami Beach, the hotel, if you haven't been to it, it's definitely worth going to. It's so much fun. They have like, what are those called? Ice baths. So you can like the cold plunge, which I love. Okay, so they have Maldives. I was right. Okay, Maldives.
Oh, cool.
New York City High Line, East Village in New York, London, Miami Beach, and butchering this name, Hua Hin. Huahin. Huahin.
Where's that?
Thailand.
Oh, okay, cool.
Huahin. So very, you could tell even just by the places, by the type of place that they're building in. And that's why, I mean, Midtown is just totally the next frontier. They're building a Trader Joe's there. This is a rendering of the balconies, which are great, a great size here. And then let's see, wait, no, it's on the other brochure. So I'll just go back to this one here. So right here is the Trader Joe's.
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
talk about like a millennial. What generation am I? Z, X, Y? I don't know.
I think it's Z.
Okay. Talk about that, a paradise for that. I mean, hello, look, right here, right? And there's a Target across the street too, a really good Target.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna stop sharing this for a sec. Okay, we're still on. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad they got to see it, right? Because that makes a big difference. So you said from like in the 4s to about $1 million.
Yeah, just under.
And what do you think is the most popular unit that's going to be bought? If you had to guess, I guess what would make sense for someone to buy? And I know that may be a hard question because it's pre-construction and sometimes all the prices aren't all given out yet and stuff.
I would say I'm looking at the inventory list and trying to deduce
Right.
the answer to that. Interesting. I would say studios,
Okay, studios.
only one on the list, which means that they were some of the fastest selling because of the price point.
Right,
Now, what do I think is the best investment? I would say a 1-bedroom.
right.
I
Okay,
know because of guests that stay at Quadro, which is nearby, which is a pre-construction project we actually talked about a while ago. That's not pre-construction anymore, it's constructed. But I just know because guests always ask about 1-bedrooms. I've had a couple people ask for 2, but not as many as the 1-bedrooms.
okay. So like in comparison to Quadro from the standard, because you said it's relatively close.
Yeah, so Quadro's on 39th, and this is going to be right by 32nd.
Okay, so basically like less than half a mile away.
Yeah.
And so with Quadro right now, since you sold a ton of units in there, and you're doing like some of the rentals and stuff, what would you say a studio rents in Quadro for per night, or per, I guess if they did a month, do you have any idea what it would be for a month since they do them shorter?
I could tell you for the 1-bedrooms.
Okay, 1-bedrooms, that's good.
So 1-bedrooms, because we've had it. This is
Right.
actual data for 5 weeks is 7,000.
7,000. So maybe like 6, or maybe
Yeah.
like 6 for a month because it's a shorter term, so they got to pay a little bit more. What do you think the standard would be? I know we're guessing, we're not financial advisors, all the disclaimers there are, but if we had to guess if the standard was there today, and we know that rents are probably, by the time the standard is ready to go and it's rented, the rents are going to be different. But if the standard was there today, and probably higher.
Yeah.
So if it was there today and this one rented for Quadro is 6,000, what would be your best guess as what the standard would rent? Similar 1-bedroom.
Yeah, I would say probably 8,000.
Okay.
I love Quadro, but the standard, it has a brand. B, it's inside of Midtown, so you don't need a car. You walk downstairs, and you are right across from Sugar Cane. You're in the center. You're not removed from it, and that's a huge plus. And the amenities. A lot of the feedback on Quadro is like, okay, it's great, but I wish there were more amenities. And to that, I say, okay, well, it was a building built for short-term rental. It wasn't a building built to have lush amenities. And on the other hand, Standard has crazy, like the stuff they're doing in just 12 floors is really, I mean, obviously they have the rooftop pool. They have co-working space with Zoom rooms and board rooms. They have a pickleball indoor court. They have a karaoke bar. They have a pet spa. I think they really thought about what people were going to use. They have bike storage, things that just make sense. I mean, not everyone uses a bowling alley, but I don't know about a pickleball court, but I think that they did a good job. Oh, and the biggest thing, they're going to have a restaurant on the top.
That's what I was going to ask you. Okay, cool. And so tell us about this restaurant. That I know it's a high-end chef or whatever. They probably don't have much details, but what would be your guesses now?
Well, it's a restaurant and bar. And so that means it's going to be open, probably something similar to like Salvaje, if you've ever been there. It's on a rooftop in Midtown. And it's a cool spot. I know that Will on our team would love the place. He probably goes there. But you also get room service, which is really awesome. I mean, that you're having the hotel experience in a condo, which is nice, and being in Midtown. So it's like the perfect way to try it out. But if I had to guess, I would probably say it's got to be something edgy, right? Because it has to go along with the brand. So it'd probably be some kind of like fusion of food. It wouldn't be like American or Indian or
I would think like a Winwood type chef would be like, that would be my guess.
Yeah. I don't think it will be like as fancy as like Amara, which is over here. I think it will be something more, maybe more like Komodo-y vibe because it's
Right.
cool. Yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. So like they're 12 floors.
Oh, wait,
And
one other thing I want to say about the
sure.
amenities, which is awesome. They're gonna have a screening room because they're catering to a lot of creatives, right? So I think that's a big deal. They're gonna have infrared saunas, which is like the new thing. Everyone wants to, have that. So it's in
So
your,
so describe that. What's an
um,
infrared sauna?
I don't really know. um, it's the one where you go inside and it doesn't feel hot, but you get hot on the inside.
Oh, okay. Like from the laser or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, like the red light thing. And it's supposed to make you happier too.
Nice, nice.
I don't honestly, I've never done it, but everyone talks about it. And it fits the culture of Standard and Midtown, that like young vibe. They're gonna have a meditation room and a sweat floor, which I don't know what that is, but I assume that means that like the gym and yoga room and things like that. Um, and and yeah.
That's cool. So 12 floors. We don't have a unlucky 13th floor.
No, there's
And how many units are in the building approximately?
approximately 228.
Approximately 228. Awesome. Awesome.
So
As you talk to
yeah.
as you talk to me about this, I'm thinking Will should buy something in there.
Right? It totally fits him. It does. It does fit his profile and probably all of his friends. So it goes from 432 square feet, right, which is the smallest studio, to just under 1,000 square feet for the 2 bedroom.
Nice, nice. Okay, so we know the units, we know the type of hotel.
Mhm.
What else could you tell? So like someone that's searching for pre-construction properties and they come across this, what would you say, like, besides those things that you said, are there any other things that make you like have us do a full video on this property?
I think the location is so important. Um, you have Barry's boot camp right there. I mean, they're putting, I said the Trader Joe's, but they're putting a Whole Foods on 29th and Biscayne, which is right there. So a couple blocks. And I always say that, look, Whole Foods is not going to build, well, they're not building the building, it's Crescent Heights, but is not going to sign a 10-year lease, which they already signed, if they haven't done their due diligence on the neighborhood and that kind of stuff. So they know that it's an up and coming neighborhood. And there's just so much room to grow in Midtown. And you're right by the design district. So if you want to spend a lot of money, you can walk a couple streets over and go to the art galleries or the crazy stores. And if you want to go to Target, you have that right there too. So I think it's a good mix. They strategically picked Midtown. They could have done this anywhere. They could have done it in Brickell, but it doesn't fit Brickell. It fits Midtown.
And so like, if this person is a Miami Heat fan, since the Heat are #1 in the Eastern Conference, how far is the FTX arena from there?
It is 2.6 miles.
2.6. Wow. Did you like, did you,
Yep.
I guess you knew I was going to ask you that, maybe.
No, I know that from.
Did you run it?
Yeah,
Or?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually walk 2.5 miles before I run. And so that's how I know where I need to start running. And it's at the arena.
Okay, awesome. So that it's a great location, and there's art stuff around. So the Adrian Art Center, how far is that from there?
Adrian Art Center is on 14, 15 between there. And we're on a mile.
Wow. So really close. Everything is.
Just kidding, but very, very close. And it's going to be a nice nice mix of work and play. I think they did a good job with that. A lot of buildings that have these quote unquote co-working spaces don't have private areas to go when you're doing Zooms. I mean, that wasn't something that was thought of, right? Because why would we need that? No one. But now this has obviously been very thought out with COVID and the pandemic and everything like that. And so I think they did a really good job with the work floor and the boardroom and all that. I'm going to show you quick hold on. Can you see? No.
No, share.
So this is the work floor. So it
Oh,
really
it's nice. Yeah.
right? It really is like a WeWork. Like, look at this. These are private rooms that they have. So it's not just like a couch that they're saying, oh, this is a room where you're going to work. You know what I mean? You know how a lot of that happens. Yeah. It's going to have 4 Zoom rooms, right? High-speed internet, obviously the private boardroom, and then the co-working space, which is nice.
It also looks really hip too, like you said. Furniture is cool. Just everything is nice.
Yep, I love these tours here. I think they're beautiful. And then some of the services that come with it are pretty cool. Obviously, I mentioned the delivery from the restaurant, but you also get you can order housekeeping from the front desk, really like a hotel, grocery, dry cleaning, all of that stuff. So that's interesting that you get that as well.
Yeah, that's cool that it's concierge, like 24/7. You can just do whatever you want.
Here's more, these are more renderings of the kitchens.
Nice.
Yeah, this
I like that it's different, right? You hardly ever see like gold anymore, and you see like white everywhere. Yeah, I like that it's different.
Like white modern blanket, you know. Here you have some like natural earth vibes. Yeah. Which is nice. And they're doing Bosch appliances. Oh, this is good. I didn't plan that, but this is what I mean.
That's the studio?
Yeah, so it's really nicely separated.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And these are some just more renderings here.
Nice.
And this,
do you know, oh, that's a nice view.
Yeah, that's Biscayne Bay right here.
Nice. The room looks big too.
Yeah, this is going to go. I know that because I did research. I don't know what's going on, but something. Okay. And these are the bathrooms here.
Nice. Do you know if the units come with parking?
I don't think they do.
There's any parking? Okay.
I
mean,
think
that sort of fits, right? Because a lot of the people, these I guess for lack of a better word, just like Henry's or whatever, high earners, not rich yet to the person, they like the walkability feel. They like, a lot of them like don't care for cars. It's different than my generation.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, when you're in Midtown, you have so much down there, and now that you have the grocery store and all of that stuff. But I think it's almost easier to just Uber places or Lyft.
Right.
And I think, especially like if you're going out and you're drinking and stuff like that, it's easier, it's safer, it's more convenient. You know, you don't have to find parking, you're not driving around in circles. And I think that this building is catering, it's just totally catering to that public.
Yeah, it makes sense. If someone's going to stay here for a bit, they probably won't have a car. Yeah. Is it too early to know like approximation of HOA and stuff? Probably too early, right?
Let me check if I have that. I do not have that. I don't. Why don't I have
you figure it'd probably be similar to something of that quality, right?
Yeah, I would say it's probably under or around $1 a square foot. Right. Because it's not that big of a building, right? So it's 228 units, which is smaller. Most times they're like upper 200s to 300 per building.
Right.
So let me find out. I'm going to ask. That's a good question.
Okay, cool. Anything else you want to talk about before we go?
What do you think about it?
It sounds cool. It sounds like I could just imagine, this is like weird to say, but if I lived there, I would be cooler. You know? Yeah. It's like sort of.
Yeah, the branding, right?
Yeah, it's like if you work at Google or Apple, all of a sudden you're cooler because you live there. If you're staying at that place, at the standard, it's like, oh, you have taste, and
Yeah.
you're like, I didn't know that you knew about the standard, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think that, oh, and the other thing that I really like about it is that a lot of times when you're looking at pre-construction, it's like, oh, 4 years down the line. This is slated to be completed before the end of 2023, which is
Wow.
not that far, which is also why it has 50% reservations, because,
Wow.
you know, that's not that far, you know, that's year and what, 8 months?
I don't know, 9, 10 months. It's not a long time, right?
Yeah.
And so what is the reservation if someone is interested in this and they reach out to you and they're like, hey Jade, saw your video, I want to be cooler, or I'm already that cool and
Yeah.
I have to live in the standard, what would be the next step?
So there would be a reservation agreement, and with that reservation agreement is a 10% deposit. And then, but well, depending on when, you know, we speak, if it's right now it's a reservation agreement with 10% deposit. And then when the contract comes, which I think is estimated for within the next couple weeks, when it goes to contract is what they call it, there is another 10% that's due. And then standard developer contract, you have a 15-day rescission period to change your mind or change the unit or cancel or go, you know, continue on. I don't think anyone would cancel it. This just isn't that kind of project. I mean, bigger projects, yes, but this is like, it has a really good feeling to it. And it's such a boutique, unique thing. It's not just a pitch. It really is different. I did just get the HOA. And
Wow.
yeah.
How?
Well, I wrote a test, 85 square foot. So.
Oh, that's great.
Especially for a smaller building.
Especially for the standard, right? The quality of the standard 24/7 concierge service, and all these other things that are available, and having a restaurant there and doing all these things. Just, yeah, that's great. And for those of you that don't know, like, I'm sorry?
So don't forget the pickleball court.
Oh, right, the pickleball court. For sure. That's pretty hot, actually. I hear friends from California all the time that love that pickleball.
Okay, parking. Did you ask about
yes, I did.
Parking. There is direct access from the building into the garage, and spots can be rented for $90 a month, which is very cheap.
Yeah, it is.
Normally, so much so that my building used to charge $100 a month for a second parking, and they said we're way below everyone else. So they raised it to $150, which is still not crazy.
It's funny when you say that. Today I met someone at the Gabriel in South Beach. It's a hotel, and parking there was $45 a day. And this is $890 a month, you said?
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing.
And you could always charge it onto the guest if they want to, right? Do that.
Totally. Yeah,
so
totally.
The timeline is good, the area is great, and the project is cool.
Yeah. So, all right. We'll do another one in the future. What do you think the next one will be?
I think maybe.
And maybe I should end the video like that.
I think maybe a building that is a waterfront Airbnb building in Brickell. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds great. I want to learn.
Yeah. So that's next time.
So if someone wanted to follow you, I know I'm going to have your information, but I'm also going to make this, I guess if I make it a podcast, then they'll have to DM you for the photos.
Right.
And
exactly.
So yeah, so if someone wanted to get that brochure like that you had, or they were interested in one, or any other building, or a resale, how would they get in touch with you, Jade?
So you can just on Instagram, I think is the fastest way. And my Instagram is at Jade, Jade Kalbacher, Kalbacher. I'm the only one there, so that's me.
So what your name says on your Zoom, on the bottom of your Zoom.
Does it say that on my Zoom? Oh yeah, well that's pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. There you go. That and then that. That's exactly why I did that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good.
And I don't even know how they knew my name, but okay.
Okay, cool. Thanks guys for listening, and look forward to sharing you with the next one.